You are looking on videotape at downtown Detroit. It's amazing what you can see when you're shooting from the press box or atop the press box of Buller Field at Harrington Center Plaza, which is where we are in this lovely for football Friday evening as the Harrison Hawks play their home opener tonight, taking on the North Farmington Raiders. Both teams coming in off conference losses. The Raiders at home in our game on TV 10 last Friday night, blown out by Southfield 44-0. Meanwhile, Harrison, their first loss of the season, they were at Oxford, led 21-7 in the second half, but wound up losing in overtime, double overtime, I should say, 34-31. Rich Kincaid here in the press box, along with our TV 10 crew all around and above Buller Field, and we're looking forward to a good one here tonight as the Raiders take on the Hawks. This is our first opportunity to see John Harrington's Hawks this season, the 13-time state champs, and as we say, they're coming in off a loss 1 week ago. The Hawks have won the toss, do receive. That's Garius Coleman taking the opening kickoff. He'll be bumped out of bounds down below at the 37-yard line, and it is from there that the Harrison Hawks have the first possession of the game tonight. 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. The changes in the backfield for Harrison. Eddie Huckleby, number 19, has taken over at tailback as Lorenzo Collins has been injured and has missed the last couple of weeks. They moved that spot back now to the 36-yard line, so it's 1st and 10 for the Hawks from right there. And at quarterback for the Harrison Hawks, number 14, Ryan Brand, as he's got some big shoes to fill with the departure of some veteran talent on this Harrison team. Man coming in motion to the near side is number 11, Rakan Carter. The give goes to Huckleby, trying to bounce it outside, and he's dragged down for a gain of 3 out to the 39-yard line. Ward in on the tackle for the Raiders, and it's 2nd down and 7 to go for Harrison from the 39-yard line. Coach John Harrington of the Harrison Hawks in his 43rd season on the sidelines. As we take a look at the wrap-up, that was number 82, Anwar Alcorni for North Farmington on the stop of Ed Huckleby on that last carry. He's credited with a gain of 2 and a nice little fake in the backfield and a big-time gain for the Hawks right here as Huckleby carries all the way out to the 49-yard line. So that's a gain of 11 for Huckleby and a 1st down. This Raider team has had some kind of trouble stopping the run. They allowed almost 300 rush yards to Southfield in that 44-0 loss 1 week ago tonight. Huckleby again, the ball carry, this time wrapped up in the backfield. A nice tackle by Matt Romeo, who shot the gap, and he'll stop Huckleby for no gain at the 49-yard line. If the Raiders can tighten up that run defense, could still be a pretty good football team. They opened with a win on the road at Port Huron, came home and got beaten by Oxford in not a seesaw game, but a game in which the Raiders kept coming back, but ultimately fell short. Here's a deep ball, almost intercepted down there, almost picked off by Chauncey Bridges. The intended receiver of that pass by Ryan Brand was Devin Cook, but it's almost picked off by Bridges. 3rd and 10. Here's another look at that one, and watch the leap by North Farmington's number 4, Chauncey Bridges. Good-looking drop here by Brand as he eludes the pressure. Does a nice job setting up, and really threw a strong ball there, but Bridges in position, and he did everything on it except come up with the interception. 3rd down and 10. Hawks at their own 49-yard line. Brand back to pass. Has time. Dumps a little swing pass to Huckleby. Huckleby cuts it wide to the outside, and he'll be dragged down, but not until he reaches the Raider 40-yard line. That's first down yardage on the pass and run to Ed Huckabee for 11 yards. Oh, 1st and 10 for Harrison as they now move into the Raider end. Good blocking on that play all the way around by the Harrison Hawks. And it results in a 3rd down and 10 conversion for Harrison. Peyton Peterson in motion. Huckabee the ball carrier right up the middle. And he's stood up by number 52, Justin Shelton of North Farmington, after a short gain of, well, they're going to call it 3 yards. Here's the give to Huckabee, and watch number 52 for North Farmington. Right about there. Wrapping him up and dropping him after the 3-yard gain. So the ball at the 37-yard line as Ryan Brand brings him up. Huckabee, the tailback. Brand fakes to him, dumps it into the near right flat, and it's caught down there by Jordan Austin. And Austin to the 25-yard line. That's another first down for the Hawks. So 1st and 10 Harrison at the North Farmington. They'll spot the ball at the 26-yard line. So Brand has completed 2 out of 3. And look out, busting tackles is Huckabee. Huckabee to the goal line, to the pylon, and now they're going to say it didn't get in. Well, I thought he did. Ed Huckabee with a 25-yard run, and let's take a look here, and you tell us if you thought he got in. Huckabee, the up back in this formation, just a run between the guards, but he found a hole and then was able to bounce it outside in a foot race here from the 10-yard line in. And they say he went out at the 1. First down and goal at the 1. Huckabee's wrapped up in the backfield. Justin Shelton there to put the stop on him. And no gain on the carry. 2nd and goal for Harrison at the North Farmington 1-yard line. We've played exactly 4 minutes of the first quarter. No score, but as you see, the Hawks are knocking on the door. Brand at quarterback. Huckabee, number 19, is the tailback, flanked on his right by number 11, Rakeem Carter. They give the ball instead to Lorenzo Collins, and Collins gets in. So Collins shoulders his way over the goal line. Touchdown, Harrison Hawks, and a 7-0 lead. Touchdown comes with 7:41 to go in the opening quarter. And the try for 2 is good. So an 8-0 lead here for the Harrison Hawks as they march 64 yards in 10 plays. Picked up 5 first downs on the drive as we watch the touchdown run by Lorenzo Collins, his first touch of the night. His body didn't make it into the end zone, but he made sure he got the football over the line. And with the 2-point conversion, the Harrison Hawks have taken a 1-0, an 8-0 lead. I must be in baseball mode. So the Raiders, who found themselves trailing 21-0 with the game still in the first quarter last Friday night, find themselves trailing here again tonight. North Farmington is now, I think they've surrendered 60 unanswered points. If you go back to the game 2 weeks ago against Oxford, then the 44-0 loss last week, and the trailing here early on 8-0. Ike Maas kicks it away. Chauncey Bridges receives at his own 7-yard line. Oh, look out, he's got a gap. He's only got a couple of guys to beat, but he's tripped up near the 40-yard line. A beautiful tackle by Garius Coleman. And Bridges brought down. I'll tell you, he beats Coleman there. He might just go. But Bridges is down at the 40-yard line. Beautiful return of 33 yards by Chauncey Bridges. And the Raiders go 1st and 10 from their own 40. Oh, no, I can't, actually. They're asking if I can hear the truck, and I could for a while, and now I can't, apparently. So they're working on it. Meanwhile, let's stay with the football game, shall we? Jordan Blaylock up under center, and the give goes off the right side for just a couple 3 yards, and the ball carrier is Chauncey Bridges. Austin with the tackle after the 2-yard first down gain by Bridges. 2nd down and 8 from the 42-yard line. 8-0, Harrison in the lead here as we hit 7 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Blaylock up under center. In motion is Ward. The give goes to the up back, and nothing doing right there is number 54 for the Hawks. Patrick Williams was right there to put the stop on Shamari McCorvey. McCorvey gets 1. 3rd and 7 at the 43. Three receivers in the formation for the Raiders and for Blaylock, who's back to pass. First option isn't there. He's going to have to tuck it under, and it'll be dropped at the 39-yard line. I think it was Ryan Scriven, number 50, who got to him first, but it's a sack and a loss of 4 yards. And that'll bring up 4th and 11 from the 39. He was going to dump it off into the flat, but it wasn't there. And indeed, number 50, Ryan Scriven, was there to drop the quarterback, Jordan Blaylock. So LeJudai dropping to punt for North Farmington, waiting to receive. Oh, it's blocked. At least the snap went awry. And the Hawks are going to recover at the 24-yard line. So Harrison 1st and 10. Now I can hear myself, so that's a plus. Well, actually I don't like the way I sound. We got Don Carter up there in the booth making sure that on the technical end of things, it was better before. There you go, that's fine. All right. 1st and 10 Hawks as they'll start at the 23-yard line. The North Farmington 23. That's Huckleby up the middle for 3 to the 20, maybe 4 to the 19. Yep, it'll be a gain of 4 to the 19. As we watch a replay of that last run. Actually, we were watching a replay of the turnover on the fourth down play by the Raiders. Ryan Brand fakes the handoff, runs out of options immediately. He's going to be brought down for a loss. The first Raider to get to him, number 65, Garrett McCormick Reamer. So a sack of Brand. I think this is what is known in the parlance as a busted play. I'm not sure to whom the handoff was supposed to have gone. Probably number 20, Collins. And once the handoff was not affected, all sorts of trouble ensued. And it's a loss of 3 on the play. We'll go as a sack loss of 3 and bring up 3rd down and 9 from the 22. Brand with wide split to either side. Sets up deep in the pocket, looking to throw towards the end zone, and it falls just incomplete. Devon Cook, number 15, the intended receiver. Number 11, Rakan Carter was in the neighborhood as well. Incomplete pass brings up 4th down. Tell you something, I like the way this Brand, number 14, the new Harrison quarterback, 5'10", 175, and a sophomore, only a sophomore. I like the way he sets up, plants, and throws, not afraid to go deep. We've seen him go deep a couple of times. And as we say, that could have gone to one of a couple of receivers. We're going to get a longish field goal attempt here from Ike Moss. And this kick on the way, and it's going to be short. He was attempting a 39-yard field goal, and just a couple of yards shy. So after the turnover, the Hawks can't cash in. So North Farmington will get the football. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Hawks with an 8-0 lead here, and as this Raider possession begins, 3:37 showing on the clock here at Buller Field. Laylock looking to pass, dumps it to the near side, but it's just out of the reach of James Ward, number 2.
James Ward falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
See, Laylock just before he gets smacked, getting that pass away, and that's been an issue for Blaylock, is that issue being the amount of time that he has to set up and throw. It's Bridges on the delayed handoff. He's got a big hole, and here comes Chauncey Bridges, and maybe there goes Chauncey Bridges to the 40, to the 30, outrunning everybody, and he's going to score. Chauncey Bridges, touchdown, North Farmington Raiders, 80 yards on the carry by Chauncey Bridges, and it is an 8-6 football game, extra point pending. Bridges just took that delayed handoff and went right up the middle for 80 yards and a score. That is the first down to the football game for North Farmington, and that's essentially trivial information. It's also the first touchdown of the football game for the Raiders. And Bridges takes it 80 yards to what they call the house. So it's an 8-6 ball game. Well, let's see if the Raiders go for 2 and give themselves a crack at tying it up right here. They will. Now Ward will flank out to the right side. He's number 2. Blaylock rolling, trying to get it to Ward, and it's intercepted down there. This can be returned. Apparently, no, it actually cannot. You can return that in college football, a missed extra point, but not in the high school game. It's intercepted by Garris Coleman. So the 2-point conversion is no good, but the Raiders are on the board with 3:18 to go in the first quarter. It is an 8-6 game, and here comes Chauncey Bridges, number 4. Now you see how they disguise it as a passing play, and there's your handoff on the draw, and look at that hole for Bridges. Before he had cleared the line of scrimmage, he had beaten 5 Harrison Hawks, and then it was just a foot race. Only 2 Harrison players had any sort of a chance to catch him at all, and Bridges, too much speed. I actually thought when he was at about his own 40 or 50-yard line that he, in fact, might get run down, but not going to happen. The last player who had a shot, Adam Peyton-Peterson there, dove to try to make the tackle at the 20-yard line. It didn't come particularly close to the speedster Chauncey Bridges, who goes 80 for a touchdown to make it an 8-6 ball game here with 3:18 to go in the first quarter. How about that? So the Raiders, Lejudai will kick it away. Michael Lejudai. It's fielded and fumbled and then picked up by Peterson. And Peterson will make it to the 24-yard line before he stopped.
From the 15-yard line out to about the 24.
A 9-yard return for Peterson as we get a nice shot there. It's a harbinger of fall tonight as we look at a replay of this return, but just a beautiful, almost perfectly clear sky tonight, and fall has not yet arrived, but maybe you can feel a hint of it in the air. The high temperature today, low 70s, if that. Maybe it made it into the low 70s. Maybe it was right around 70. And to see the clear sky tonight, it's hard to believe that it rained for most of the morning here in Farmington. This is, by the way, Friday, September 14th, as we watch Ed Huckabee off the left side out beyond the 30 to the 32-yard line for an 8-yard pickup.
On the tackle for the Raiders. Gain of 8 on that play. Second down and a deuce.
2nd and 2 from the 32. That's Harlan Huckabee's boy down there, number 19, Ed Huckabee. Harlan Huckabee, one of the nicest guys you're going to meet. I'm just telling you. And he is still, to this day, he played at Michigan in the 1970s, and if you look it up, he's still in the top 10 all-time Michigan rushers. And you think about the ball carriers that the University of Michigan has had down through the ages, and there's Harlan Huckabee, again, still in that top 10. And I actually worked with Harlan for a period of time. We were both at WJR, and I'm telling you, just a terrific guy. We get a timeout down in the field with 2:27 to go here in the first quarter. Harrison 8, North Farmington 6. The difference in the football game is a missed two-point conversion by the Raiders. We had Harrison scoring on their first possession of the night, as they went 64 yards in 10 plays. The touchdown, a 1-yard run by Lorenzo Collins. And the Raiders tying it just a few moments ago on Chauncey Bridges' 80-yard touchdown run. Two-point conversion was good for the Hawks and no good for the Raiders. So as we say, that's the difference. An 8-6 ball game is we're about ready for action again. Ryan Brand, number 14, up under center for Harrison, gives to Collins, and Collins stood up in the backfield. Submarining through was number 50, Matt Romeo. That's an outstanding defensive play by Romeo. And there's no gain on the play. Now the officials call timeout. So 3rd down and a couple for Harrison here. Quan Carter checks back into the Harrison lineup. Heading for the sidelines is number 32, and we don't have a 32 on our roster right now. Collins is the tailback in this formation, and he gets the handoff, and he himself is into the second level of the defense, into North Farmington territory, inside the 40-yard line. And a beautiful run by Lorenzo Collins to the Raider 39. I know that Mr. Cobb wanted me to say something if I can hear him. I can hear him, but I didn't hear what he wanted me to say. But I can hear you just fine, Mr. Cobb. Well, it's a little distorted, but I can hear when you talk. I hear when you say replay, for example. That was 29 yards on that carry by Collins, by the way. 1st and 10. Hawks at the North Farmington 39-yard line. Beautiful run by Lorenzo Collins to convert the 3rd down and then some. Picked up the 29 and the 1st down. This is Huckleby. And Huckleby makes his way into the Raiders secondary before he's stopped by Bobby Williams. An excellent 1st down gain by Huckleby. Picks up 5. 2nd down and 5 at the 34. Good hard running by Ed Huckleby. If I do slip tonight and call him Harlan Huckleby, at least you'll know why now, because I explained it to you. I know Harlan Huckleby. Harlan and I think we're about the same age, because I believe Harlan was going to Michigan about the same time I was a student at Michigan State. I'm not going to tell you when that is, though, or when that was, I should say. Because I don't want everybody in our audience going, man, that guy's old. Here's Collins. Oh, he bounces off that tackle in the backfield, bounces off another, bounces it outside. The football bounces away from him, but not before Collins is out of bounds at the 22 for another 1st down for the Harrison Hawks. A nice looking run right there by number 20, Lorenzo Collins. Let's see where they spot the ball as we look at this replay, and it looks like he's going to be stopped in the backfield right about, there. You know, you've got face mask to face mask contact. But before this play is over, Collins has gone for 12 yards and a 1st down, and the Hawks are in business again. Rakan Carter, number 11, back into that Hawks lineup. 1st and 10, Harrison from the Raider 22-yard line. We're down to 30 seconds to go in the quarter. The clock right now is stopped. And Brand rolls to pass. Boy, he got a great block from Jordan Austin. Brand's going to have to tuck it under and run the football down to the 15-yard line. A good solid run by Brand. Picked up 7. That's going to be that will be the last play of this 1st quarter. As we take a look at the run by Brand, which may or may not have been a designed play. As I watched it, I wasn't quite sure. But there goes Ryan Brand. When he saw the opening, he wasn't shy about lowering his shoulder, and he rumbles down to the 16-yard line for a gain of 6. So when the 2nd quarter begins, it'll be 2nd down and 4 for the Hawks. And they'll be at the North Farmington 16-yard line. So not hearing any word to the contrary, I assume we're going to keep it here in the 1st intermission as we take a look at the North Farmington Raiders, trailing 8-6 after a quarter. And you can also, again, you can see what a beautiful night it is here at Buller Field. Now, it's supposed to actually get kind of chilly tonight, down into the 40s. And again, as you watch the game on TV 10, we remind you that this is the game between North Farmington and Harrison, which is being played on Friday, September the 14th. We're going to be right back here at Buller Field on Friday, September 21st for our coverage of the Hawks Southfield Blue Jays game. And boy, what a good one that ought to be. That Southfield team is solid. We saw that last Friday night when they routed the Raiders 44-0. As we take a look at the... Now, are those the Harrison cheerleaders, or is that the Harrison Pom Pond squad? Second and 4. Hawks from the Raider 16-yard line. Harrison 2-1 on the season. They are 1-1 in OAA white play. And the Raiders are 1-2, and they are 0-2 in conference play. Both these teams in the OAA white division this year, but next year, North Farmington will be moving to another division, which is, as we talked about a bit last week, I think a bit of a shame. when you have North Farmington and Harrison and Farmington all in the same division, you get all three teams playing a head-to-head round-robin schedule, and who doesn't love head-to-head? But when West Bloomfield consolidates its two schools into one next year, here goes Collins for a couple, and he's close to the first down inside the 15, but I believe a little bit shy of it. But when they consolidate in Bloomfield Hills and in West Bloomfield, they're going to need another school to fill out one of the other divisions. And North Harrison, really, that's a new school. North Farmington will move to that different division. A 3-yard carry by Collins, and 3rd and 1 for the Hawks here from the 13. Look out, there's a touchdown. Lorenzo Collins just goes busting off the left side, and he's into the end zone from 13 yards out in a heartbeat. Touchdown, Harrison Hawks. And a 14-6 lead for Harrison with 11:13 to go before halftime. Boy, Collins got in the end zone in a hurry. Here's Moss to attempt the extra point. Nice snap and a nice kick, and it's a 15-6 football game. Well, I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see the replay of this touchdown. Watch the running back, number 20. He'll take the handoff from the quarterback, number 14, Brandt. And there he comes into your screen. And look at that, just makes his way through that hole and bang, he's in the end zone with not too much to say about it. He just scooted in there. So, that is an 8-play scoring drive for Harrison. And they cover 76 yards. We just had a shot of Coach John Harrington on the Harrison sideline. He is tonight seeking career win number 390. So again, the scoring drive, 76 yards in 8 plays. And a 15-6 Harrison lead with 11:13 to go in the second quarter. John Harrington has been the football coach here at Harrison High School continuously since 1970. And that means that's a free ball. Look out, it's loose on the turf, and it's going to be recovered. But no, it's not. Bridges had it momentarily, lost it. Let's see who does come up with it down there at the bottom of the pile. I think North Farmington got it. Yes. Ultimately, it was recovered, I believe, by number 32, Shamari McCorvey. So after all of that, the Raiders will start 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. Plenty of excitement on that kickoff. Blaylock at quarterback. Shamari McCorvey, number 32, the up back, and the tailback is Chauncey Bridges, and here's Bridges with the carry. Around the left side and running out of room and dragged down by Huckleby. So McCorvey gets 3. It was McCorvey. And it's 2nd down and 7 from the 25. So now we get a chance to see Ed Huckleby, number 19 for Harrison, on the defensive side of the ball. And he's going to run down Chauncey Bridges. It was Bridges on the carry. All right. There's Ed Huckleby, number 19. Thought we were going to get an out-of-town score, and our PA announcer here at Buller Field was playing a joke on everybody. Bridges dropped in the backfield by, oh, mercy. Number 50, I think, got to him. That was Ryan Scriven. Okay. Oh, actually, it was number 32 who got there first for the Hawks. Scriven, I believe. Yep, that's it. Awari Smith is number 32. So it's a loss on the play of a yard. 3rd down and 8. Ball at the 24. We've seen too much of this these last couple of weeks. The Raiders facing a 3rd and long situation. They'll work from the gun here. Blaylock, his pass over the middle is deflected, goes off the hands of his intended receiver, Anwar Alcorne, and falls incomplete. So a punt up and coming here for the North Farmington Raiders. They trail in the ball game 15-6 with 9:17 to go in the first half. And we'll see another punt here from Michael Lejudai. Promised to get his name right by the end of the season. Good snap. A lot of pressure coming. Lejudai gets it away. And this is dancing around Darius Coleman. And Coleman breaks free, and Coleman's down the sidelines. And Coleman makes a deke in another. He's inside the 20, down near the 15-yard line. Coleman returns that ball 34 yards when he had absolutely nothing to work with. Garris Coleman, number 7 for Harrison, puts the Hawks in business at the 16-yard line of North Farmington. And actually, let's say he took it 35 yards on that return. Look at him dance away from one. You see 4 Raiders right there in a position to make a tackle. And Garris Coleman deked them all. That's a pretty solid move he made there at the 25-yard line on the punter as well. 1st and 10. Harrison at the 16-yard line as they look to build on a 15-6 lead. And here comes Huckabee. Bounces it outside. Looking to get a block. Can't quite turn the corner. And he is going to be brought down at the 12 for a 4-yard gain. Beautiful return by Garris Coleman. As on this play, the Raider defense able to string it out just enough. And it's number 21 for North Farmington, Malik Fuller, who ultimately puts the stop on Huckabee. Brand, a 3-step drop, lobbing it deep into the end zone, and the flag comes down, but it doesn't matter. It's caught for a touchdown. A beauty of a catch by Garris Coleman as he sets the Hawks up for the touchdown and then scores the touchdown. Made a great reception right there on the pass from Ryan Brand. And it's a 12-yard touchdown toss. Brand to Coleman. And it is a 21-6 football game with 8:45 left to go before the halftime. That is a 2-play, 16-yard drive. The penalty, of course, declined. Harrison will take the touchdown. And here's Moss to try and make it a 22-6 game. Everything not quite in order. They have not yet whistled the ball ready for play. Now they do. That's Coleman, the holder, by the way. And the extra point is good. So the legs and the hands of Garris Coleman give the Harrison Hawks a 22-6 lead. He's number 7. You see the pass by Brand, lobbing it deep into the corner of the end zone, and Coleman up to make that catch with a Raider draped all over him to the extent that a pass interference call was coming up against North Farmington. But it's a touchdown catch for Coleman on the throw by Brand. And the Hawks have opened a 22-6 lead here with 8:45 left to go in the second quarter. No score in the big Farmington-Oxford game tonight at Falcon Stadium. Both those teams coming in undefeated. Look at the standings right now in the OAA White, and we've got a three-way tie for the top spot. Farmington and Oxford, both 2-0 in conference play. Oak Park, meanwhile, also 2-0 in conference play. And I misspoke a moment ago. Oxford actually has a loss, a non-conference loss. So they're tied for the conference lead, but Oxford's overall record is 2-1, not 3-0. Southfield is 1-1. The Hawks are 1-1, so each of those two teams a game off the lead in the OAA White. And then winless so far in conference play, 0-2, North Farmington, Southfield, Lathrop, and surprisingly enough, Rochester Adams, the standings up to the minute in the OAA White. We are awaiting a kickoff by the Harrison Hawks. They have assessed the penalty on the kickoff, a 15-yarder for pass interference, so the Hawks will kick off from the Raider 45-yard line. And Moss is in to kick it away, and there comes that high, short kick, and you got to be careful fielding it. The Raiders are going to get a yard or two on the return by Marvin Yaldo. By the way, in case you're curious, you can fair catch a kickoff. And on those high, short kicks, sometimes that's not a bad strategy. So the Raiders start at their own 19. And they are trailing now by 16 points. Blaylock still in there at quarterback, number 7, the give to Bridges. Right up the middle, trying to bounce it a little bit outside, trying to find the kind of an opening that he had when he scored on that 80-yard touchdown run a possession or two ago, and this time he's out to the 20-yard line for a gain of 2. Second down and 8. That opening wasn't there. Now, with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, we are told Oxford has taken a 6-0 lead over the Farmington Falcons. I believe that game's at Falcon Field tonight. Maybe it's in Oxford, but I think it's at Farmington. Second down, 8 for the Raiders. Look out, big trouble in the backfield, but the pass goes to Bridges, who juggles it. Got away from one man, but not the second. Donovan Peterson on the stop, and really no gain on that play at all for the Raiders. You can see that Blaylock's in trouble almost immediately here. That's what's called backside pressure. Bridges a nice job to deliver the ball. Bridges a nice job to ultimately come up with it as he juggled it a bit. But number 35 is going to catch up with him, Peterson, and make the stop at the 20-yard line for no gain. Third down and 8. As we reach 7 minutes to go in quarter number 2, Hawks 22, Raiders 6. Rich Kincaid with you here on TV 10 along with our great crew, and a whistle stops the play. We may have, well, let's see if the Raiders called timeout. They did. Thought perhaps the Raiders had more men in motion than is permitted by law. But they've called a timeout, so it'll be third down and 8 to go from the 20-yard line when we resume. 6:50 to go in the second quarter. Yeah, easy enough to show up tonight with your shirt off. Although, again, we are expecting by the time tomorrow morning arrives that the mercury will dip into the upper 40s. But right now, our game time temperature had to be right around 70 degrees. We're just about at sunset right now, and so it's still, it's not, what I'm trying to say is it's not terribly chilly out there right now, but it's going to get that way. But you can't beat the school spirit that you find here at Buller Field, as the Harrison fans always support their 13-time state champion Hawks. Blaylock out of the gun. Pressure coming immediately, and he just has to throw it away in desperation. The blitz by number 32, Iwari Smith, and boy, there just wasn't any time at all for the Raiders to develop that play. Goes as an incomplete pass, and it's 4th and 8 for North Farmington. They'll kick it away from the 20-yard line, and Michael Leguri comes in to kick it away again. Good snap, and Lejudai gets his kick away. And this is Coleman again. Garris Coleman at the 40. Can't spin away from the tacklers, and the ball will be marked at the 39-yard line. So an 11-yard, well, let's check it out here, actually. The punt is caught at the 48-yard line, so it's a 28-yard punt and a 9-yard return. And once again, the Hawks with great field position as they start not only in Raider territory, but well into Raider territory at the 39. They show a different look with Ryan Brand all alone in the backfield. Has time, goes deep over the middle, caught down there, then dropped. Kyle Armstrong had it, but then he got rocked. I think it was Alec, well, no, it was James Ward on the hit. It was Alec Londahl, number 64, who was down there, who was listed as a guard. That's what threw me. How do you get one of your guards, number 64, just coming in now as that ball comes free? How does he get all the way down the field? Some almost 30 yards on that play. 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Again, the football at the Raider 39. I formation this time, a more conventional look. The ball carrier is number 10, Todd Moore. And Moore doesn't get much, just a yard. Third down and 9. As we see the Raider defense shutting that one down. You know, there was no gain on that play. That ball's still at the 39. It's 3rd down and 10. Garris Coleman splits wide right along with Raquan Carter, number 11, who's in the slot. No wides to the near left side. Brand fakes the handoff, and he dumps it into the right flat to Huckabee, and Huckabee picks up the first down before he's tripped up by Matt Romeo. They mark the ball at the 29, and I believe he's picked up a first down by about the length of a football. Now, Huckabee on that pass picks up 11, and it's a first down. Actually, he picks up 10, and it is a first down for the Hawks at the 29-yard line. Harrison leading 22-6, 5:20 to go, second quarter, clock running. The give right up the middle to Huckleby, and he spins down to the 21 for a smart-looking gain of 8. Good first down run there by Huckleby. He's the tailback. He's number 19, and I'm sorry, he's the upback in that formation. So after that gain of 8, the ball on the 21-yard line, 2nd down and 2. And Huckleby again, this time out of that tailback position. And he'll cut it inside down to the 10-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Harrison Hawks. Huckleby picks up a dozen and a first down and a goal to go for Harrison at the 9. Here's Huckleby trying the left side this time, and boy, look at the hole. He's almost, after 2 or 3 steps, he's already into the secondary. They mark the ball just inside the 10. Technically, it is on the 10. However, it's a goal-to-go situation here. Part of the ball is touching that 10-yard line, so it's 1st and goal from the 10. Brand with the give to Moore, I believe it is. It is Moore. And he's to the 6-yard line for a gain of 4. Second down and goal from the 6. Number 52 there for North Farmington, hanging on to make the tackle, Justin Shelton. A good wrap-up. And actually the ball they spotted at the 7. So credit Moore with a gain of 3. And it's 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line. 3.5 to go before halftime. Hawks 22, Raiders 6. Full house backfield. Huckleby gets it, cuts it up the middle to the 2. Third and goal, now from the 2-yard line. A lot of options for the Harrison quarterback Brand here with 3 running backs in the backfield, and he goes with Huckleby. And submarining in there was number 82, Anwar Alcorne, and he may have saved the touchdown by getting low and tripping Huckleby up. Now the Hawks call timeout here. And they'll say the ball is on the 3 after that carry by Huckleby. The ball's on the 3-yard line, and the truck was telling me he looks hurt, but they did not identify who he is. Is that Huckleby or Alcorne? At any rate, as we take a look at the stands across the way, the visiting stands here at Buller Field. These are the fans that have come across town, not that far, from North Farmington here to Harrison High School.
Yeah, well, you want to check that for you.
2:49 to go, 2nd quarter, and Harrison leading 22-6, and they've got a 3rd down goal to go situation from the Raider 3. So this is a huge moment in this football game for the North Farmington Raiders. If they could come up with a stop here, well, they'd still be in the ball game, but if they can't, maybe they're not in the ball game anymore. They're not in the ball game anymore if you want to look at it that way, because it's Moore who cuts up the middle untouched into the end zone. Touchdown, Harrison Hawks, and a 28-6 lead.
Take care of each other. I'll be right back.
We'll be back for halftime.
I'll be back for
So it is an 8-play, 39-yard drive, extra point good. And it is a 29-6 ball game with 2:43 to go before halftime. Number 10, Moore, is the ball carrier here. And look at, nobody is able to get a hand on him. At least not until he's into the end zone when he runs into Chauncey Bridges, but it's too late by then. The Harrison Pon squad, or cheerleaders, again, I'm still not exactly sure. They've got something to celebrate here, as do all Hawks fans. Their ball club on top right now, 29-6, as the Raiders across the way look to regroup. They're trailing by 23. Well, they were down 31 at halftime a week ago to Southfield. Well, just the last 2 weeks, the Raiders here, if you look at it, outscored 44-0 last week, and now down 29-6 here. So they've been outscored 73-6 in not yet a game and a half. We're still halftime score now showing Oxford leading Farmington, leading the Falcons 6-0. That's at halftime. So first, the kickoff by the Hawks, and then we'll see if the Raiders can regroup here, trailing by 23 with 2:43 to go in the second quarter. It's Moss to kick it away, and Chauncey Bridges, number 4, waits for the kick, but it won't get to him. Another high, short kickoff fielded down there by Shamari McCorvey. McCorvey is hammered to the turf for the 24. Well, the Raiders have not been able to get much done on offense in this game. With the exception only of that 80-yard, that electrifying, well, what 80-yard touchdown run isn't electrifying, but that 80-yard touchdown run by Chauncey Bridges, which put the Raiders back in the ballgame, trailing only 8-6 at that time. But Hawks have added 3 touchdowns since, and here comes Bridges, and not a lot there for him. He'll get 2 out to the 28-yard line. Now, Bridges might have found some open field there were it not for Harrison's number 15, Devin Cook, who came slicing in to make a nice shoestring tackle. Noah Downs, number 63, into the lineup for Harrison, and trotting to the sidelines is number 32, Iware Smith. And now 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Now, what a beautiful night here at Buller Field as the sun sets and night begins to overtake the day. Very comfortable evening for football, and the Raiders would feel even more comfortable if they could get some points on the board before the half. Blaylock looking to throw, going deep. Nobody there. Great coverage. Now a flag comes in late. The defensive back, number 13, Ventura Ingram, had position on James Ward, the intended receiver. But the flag flies near midfield. Let's take a look here. This is about as good a ball as we've seen Blaylock throw. But then again, he had some time to throw, and he sets up. And there you see number 13 for Harrison with the pass breakup, and the flag came in. There's multiple flags on the play, and they are going to call Ingram and the Hawks for pass interference. So they'll walk off 15 yards, and North Farmington should have 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line, or actually the 43-yard line. As we get a good look at twilight here, sunset/twilight at Buller Field. So the 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10 Raiders at the 43. Well, maybe that's the kind of break that can turn things around for them just a little bit. We'll see. Blaylock will work from the shotgun again. In motion is Stallion, number 20. The give to Bridges. And Bridges is going to be wrapped up in the backfield, falls forward to the 45, but only a gain of 2. I think that was Jake Slobin, number 55, on the stop. See, right there, it looked like Bridges might be able to get away, but he was caught from behind and brought down. So 2 yards on the carry, 2nd and 8 from the 45. Well, the crowd very excited that the cheerleaders got on camera. Keep that in mind, crew. We'll get them on the air more and get the crowd even more fired up. Blaylock firing long and out of the reach of everybody with the possible exception of Harrison's Garris Coleman, who was trying to intercept it. But it's an incomplete pass, and it's 3rd down and 9. Or I'm sorry, 3rd down and 8. As you see, the Harrison player, number 7, Coleman, was really the only player on the field who had a legitimate shot at catching that particular pass. So 3rd down and 8. Down to 43.6 to go here in the first half. Blaylock needs 8 to keep the drive alive. Bridges in motion. They hand it off, and the little draw play it's fumbled. Fumbled down there after it looked like North might pick up the first down on the draw play by Harold Stallion. And the ball is recovered by the Hawks. This is really a well-designed and well-executed play. It's also a well-executed defensive play. As you see, number 13, Ventura Ingram for Harrison, hanging on for dear life, and he strips that ball free, and the Hawks come up with the recovery. And it is 1st down and 10 to go for Harrison at their own 48. So now the Hawks have a chance to get points on the board before halftime. Brand will throw a screen pass over the middle, and good solid yards after catch there by number 12, Jordan Austin. We're down to 27 seconds to go and a timeout called by the Hawks. So the ball down to the 34-yard line. That's an 18-yard pass play. Here's the replay, and there's Ingram, number 12, and he's able to elude the tackle of Bridges. He's able to hang on to the football as Justin Shelton of North Farmington was trying to chop it out of there. And he's down to the 34-yard line. So the play began at the Harrison 48. Now it's at the Raider 34. So 18 yards and a first down. The Raiders have it right there with 27.2 seconds to go in the half. Harrison 29, North Farmington 6. Oh, the Raiders trailed, was it 31-0 last week at halftime? No, 37-0 last week at halftime. They're down by a sizable margin here tonight against the Harrison Hawks. All right, here's Brand out of the gun. Protection, time to throw, fires over the middle, caught. And it's going to be 1st and goal for Harrison. They'll stop the clock while they move the chains. The ball caught down there by Raquan Carter. And Carter is down to the 7. That's a 27-yard gain. And they spike it. So great throw into traffic by Brand, and Carter brings it down to make it 1st and goal. Now the spike, and it's 2nd and goal from the, let's call it the 8. So it'll be a 26-yard pass to Carter Second down, goal to go from the 8. 15.5 seconds on the clock. And to be honest with you, I am unsure about Harrison's timeout situation, but I believe they have one and maybe two. Here's Brand throwing into the end zone out of the reach of Coleman. So third and goal. Now Brand completed this pass into that very corner of the end zone to that very receiver, Garius Coleman, earlier on in the second quarter, but missed the hookup there. Just a little out of his reach. Third down, goal to go. A dozen seconds left before halftime. Here's Brand from the shotgun. The snap is high. It's on the turf. He picks it up, and he's going to be dropped for a loss back at the 11-yard line. Clock is running. Maybe Harrison doesn't have a timeout. Nope, time's going to end here in the first half. So the Hawks were knocking on the door, but a bungled shotgun snap on the last play of the half. And it means they're unable to get another snap off, and their drive will stall right there, and the half will come to an end. Still in all, a pretty good half for the Harrison Hawks as they'll head off with a 29-6 lead over North Farmington. Now, we'll stand aside, but only briefly. We're going to bring you the Harrison High School Marching Band. Perhaps you saw them a moment ago. They've got an elaborate production for us at halftime. We'll enjoy the show, and then we'll be back with second half action. You see the score, Hawks 29, Raiders 6, and you're watching Friday Night Football here on TV 10.
It's now time for the Harrison High School halftime show. Please welcome to the field the 2012 Harrison High School Marching Band. This year's show is titled Come Fly With Me,
Yeah, come fly
with music by David Holsinger.
Yeah, band camp.
The 90-member band is led on the field this year by drum major Nate Williams. Music was arranged by Joel
Where did they go?
and Joe
Joel.
Kuzi.
I heard that
Drill
during band
design
camp,
by
one of the
Mike
people.
Novak and Blake Daltrey. Instructional staff for the band includes Rob Simcoe, Becca Moeller, Kyle Miller, Mark Estrady, Jesse Batt, Matt Stefanski, and Matt Sakes. Directors are Joel Yoder and Joe Cruzy.
He got the R the second time, so I'm pretty sure he's pronouncing it.
Drum major Nate Williams. Is your band ready?
On the field.
You may take the field.
5, 10, go.
thanks to the Harrison Marching Band for that performance. And now performing your state champion 2012-2013 Harrison Varsity Pom Team, led by Captains Julia Wang, Emmy Zatar, and coached by Meredith McNamara, Stacy Schaefer. Ladies, it's time once again to smile, sparkle, and shine.
And we welcome you back to Buller Field as we take a look at the North Farmington Raiders. They trail 29-6 as we move to the third quarter here at Buller Field, where the lights have taken full effect. It's nighttime now after we had a beautiful early evening and twilight here, and we expect things will get a little chillier. Not that it's going to affect the playing conditions. And a kickoff temperature of around 70, so by the time everything's said and done here tonight, maybe it'll be down into the low 60s. Low 60s. There are the Harrison Hawks as they gather themselves for action in the second half. They lead at 29-6. Their dominance has been, well, pretty marked. They've picked up 14 first downs in the football game, have the Harrison Hawks. North Farmington, only 2 first downs, one of those on a 15-yard pass interference penalty. total yards, in my book, I've got Harrison at 236 and the Raiders with 87. And remember, 80 of those yards for North Farmington came on a 80-yard touchdown run by Chauncey Bridges. That has accounted for their only score in the football game tonight. And other than that, it's been all Hawks. They lead it 29-6 as we move into quarter number 3. The other big matchup tonight in the OAA White, and again, this is Friday, September 14th, and you'll know the final scores of these games by the time you watch this broadcast on air or online. With the showdown between two of the three teams tied for first place in the OAA White, Oxford and Farmington, playing tonight at Falcon Field, and Oxford has the lead at halftime there, 6-0. The Falcons coming into play with a perfect record, 3-0 overall, 2-0 in conference. Oxford 2-0 in conference. One of those victories coming over the Raiders a couple of weeks ago here on TV 10. But Oxford with a non-conference loss, so their overall record is 2-1. The third team tied for first place in the Oakland Activities Association White Division, Oak Park, and they come in with a 2-0 record in conference and a 3-0 mark overall. We mentioned that Harrison opened with 3 games on the road this season, winning at Detroit Renaissance, winning at Rochester Adams, then losing last week in double overtime at Oxford in a game in which they led handily, 21-7 at halftime, only to see Oxford come back and score a couple of third-quarter touchdowns to tie the score. And ultimately, as we say, they went to double OT before Oxford prevailed. Well, this is the start, this game tonight against North Farmington, the start of 3 in a row here at Buller Field, here at home for Harrison. They'll host Southfield 1 week from tonight, the 21st, and host Southfield Lathrop 2 weeks from tonight, the 28th. We will have both those games, Harrison against Southfield, Harrison against Southfield Lathrop, for you right here on TV 10. And then after that, we get down to some head-to-head action as our schedule continues on into October. North Farmington will play host to Farmington High School on October 5th. We'll have that one for you. On October 12th, we'll be at Falcon Field, where the Falcons will take on these Harrison Hawks in what has developed into, at least over the past few seasons, quite a rivalry between the two schools. Moss is going to kick it away for Harrison. The Raiders get the ball to start half number 2. At kickoff, a free ball inside the 15-yard line, picked up now and brought out to the 30-35, and rumbling out beyond the 40-yard line for North Farmington is Shamari McCorvey. And McCorvey with a good, solid return of some 27 yards out to the 42-yard line. So the Raiders, decent field position for their first possession of the second half. They'll go 1st and 10 at the 42. But again, the Raiders on the wrong end of a lopsided statistical story. First downs, 14 for Harrison and only 2 for North Farmington in that first half. Laylock, number 7, still in there at quarterback. McCorvey, the up back. Bridges, the tailback. And before the snap, a whistle and a flag. So the Raiders have procedured illegally, and that'll move the ball back to the 37. So 1st and 15 for the Raiders, who can ill afford to make a mistake to give themselves an even longer field as they trail by 23 here to start the second half. But here they are, 1st and 15 from the 37. Pass for Ward is going to go incomplete. John Harrington tonight is now less than a half away from his 390th all-time victories. To see that pass for Ward miss its mark. He comes into play tonight, does John Harrington, in his 43rd year as Harrison coach, with an overall record, regular season and playoffs, 389 wins, 87 losses, 1 tie, and 13 state championships, the most recent coming in 2010. 2nd and 15 for the Raiders. I formation, Ward, number 2 in the slot, goes in motion. Blaylock rolls, pitches to Bridges, trying to find room on the left side and finds a little of it and gets back most of the yardage lost on the first down penalty. Back out to the 42, so indeed it is a gain of 5, and it'll be 3rd and 10. Third and 10 Raiders at the 42, right where their drive started. As you see, number 4 Bridges trying to find an opening, and not a lot of room there. The Harrison cheerleaders have taken note of the sundown and the fast dropping temperatures, and they've gone to the pants for the second half. Smart. A wildcat formation here, a little bit of it. But the snap goes to Blaylock, long down the right side. He overshoots his intended receiver, and it's intercepted, picked off down there by Peyton Peterson. And Peterson down the near left sideline, inside the 35-yard line, dragged down at the 34. Nice return by Peterson on the intercept. And the Hawks are going to have it 1st and 10 at the 34. Here's the replay. Blaylock stepped into his throw and got too much air underneath it. And it is intercepted at the 33-yard line. And then returned 33 yards to the 34-yard line. 1st and 10 Hawks with a 29-6 lead and 10:44 to go in the third quarter. Here's Huckabee, and not much there, as he was actually grabbed onto in the backfield by North Farmington's Anwar Alcorne. And Huckabee able to fall forward for a gain of a yard to the 33. Nice work by the Raiders, number 82, Alcorne. So 2nd down and 9. I formation. Flanked wide on the right side, number 7, Coleman, number 11, Carter. They get the ball to Coleman, and Coleman's got a first down inside the 20, dancing down the sidelines and shoved out of bounds. They'll say he stepped out right there at the 10, but there's a flag on the play, and we'll see what that's all about. Here we'll take a look at the replay, as it was Garius Coleman taking that little screen pass. And they're calling Harrison for an illegal formation, so all of this is for naught. The gain by Coleman, which would have given Harrison a 1st and goal. So it's called back on penalty, and it'll be 2nd down and 14 at the 38-yard line. Just under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, 9:57 with the clock stopped. 29 Harrison, 6 North Farmington. That's your score. Coleman, single coverage, flanked near side left. In motion is Carter. Brand rolling, pressure coming, steps up, and his pass batted down. A good job again by Anwar Alcorne, number 82 for North Farmington. I'll tell you what, they had Carter open down near the end zone, and Alcorne, with that leaping block of the pass, saved the day for the Raiders right there. Good job by Brand under pressure. He's able to step up and make his throw, but it's batted out of midair and falls incomplete. So 3rd and 14. Different set of wideouts across the way. Austin at number 12 and Peterson number 16 flanked on the right side. 4 wides in this formation. Pressure coming, and Brand lobs it high in the air and deep and incomplete, trying to get it to Coleman inside the 5-yard line. So 4th down for the Hawks at the Raider 38, and you wonder what they'll call for here. Did you see that throw by Brand? A lot of air under it. Coleman trying to run it down and couldn't get there. And actually, I think Bobby Williams, number 9 for North Farmington, got a hand on it. It looks like Harrison will punt it away here, and it will be Coleman. Here's our camera crew tonight up on top of the press box here at Buller Field. The punter is Garris Coleman. Line of scrimmage is the 38, and a flag probably for delay of game. No, it's an illegal. They had too many men on the field. Yeah, that's what happened. Harrison had too many men on the field. So that'll cost him 5. And it'll be 4th and 19 from the 43. Harrison trying to improve to 3-1 here tonight. Raiders coming into this one with a record of 1-2, and both their losses have been in conference. That's not good. So Coleman waits for the snap, gets the kick away. I'll tell you, coming in trying to block it was Alcorne. The punt taking sort of a neutral bounce inside the 15-yard line, and it's going to be down at the 11, and the Raiders will start from right there. A 32-yard punt by Coleman. And the Raiders backed up at their own 11-yard line and backed up on the scoreboard as well, trailing by 23. 9:36 to go. There's our TV 10 crew down there. Not every night the person taking the pictures winds up on the television screen, but the crew working hard out here on, this is week number 4 of the season, isn't it? Here's Blaylock up under center I formation. The give to Bridges, trying the left side, shoving the pile forward, trying to get to the 15-yard line, and he does. That's a gain of 4. Second down and 6 for the Raiders. Really not a lot there on that run for Chauncey Bridges. I think he got as much out of it as anyone could. Just lowered his shoulders and powered forward out to that 15-yard line with all kinds of traffic in the vicinity. We've gone under 9 minutes to go in the third quarter, 8:55 and counting. The Raiders need to get some points on the board as they trail it by 23, 29-6. A little confusion as the Raiders get set up for this play. A little confusion getting into formation. Now everyone where they need to be, and Blaylock hands the ball off to Ward, and Ward on a reverse and end around out to the 30, out beyond the 35-yard line before he's brought down by Ventura Ingram. So a nice misdirection play there by the Raiders, and they go from the 15-yard line out to the 36 for a gain of 21. Third first down of the football game for the Raiders. And they've got it out to their own 36-yard line now. And other than the 80-yard run by Bridges, that's as good a play as we've seen the Raiders run tonight. First down at 10 to go, Bridges the ball carrier. Tripped up at the line of scrimmage, falls forward to the 40. So he gets 4. Slobin on the tackle. Number 55 for the Hawks. Second down and 6. You see Slobin falling backwards, tripped him up. And then number 51, Antonio McKelton, finished him off, him being Chauncey Bridges. It's a key drive here for the Raiders. And they might have to use a timeout. It's taken them a little bit of time to get this play called. Blaylock hustles them up to the line. Ward, number 2, split to the far left side. Number 23 for North Farmington, Masry, the wide receiver on the near right side, and he gets the pass, and he's into Harrison territory. That's the first pass completion for the Raiders tonight. And that moves the ball right out to the 50-yard line as Blaylock just dumped it off to Masri in the right flat, and then he did the rest. And he's brought down at midfield. It's a gain of 10 and a first down. And it's 1st and 10 Raiders at midfield. Blaylock hands to the first man through, and it's no gain on the carry by McCorvey. Seven minutes to go, third quarter. 29-6, the Hawks leading the Raiders. Don't forget, next Friday night we'll be right back here at Buller Field. And the Southfield Blue Jays come calling, the team that hung that 44-0 score on the Raiders last Friday night. Southfield's a good football team. It'll be a good matchup here at Buller Field. Come on out and catch the action. We'll have it all for you, of course, on TV 10, on tape and online. 2nd down and 10. Bridges with the pitch. And not a lot there for Chauncey Bridges, as he is brought down by Slobin after a gain of 1.
Jake Slobin, Eddie Huckleby.
And Huckleby also in on that tackle, and it's 3rd down and long. The Raiders have it at the 49-yard line. Now we're told that Comcast will be here to shoot the game next week. I don't know why we would want anybody to watch on Comcast instead of TV 10, though. The truck agreeing with me on that pass complete to Bridges. And he's just shy of the first down at the 41. It's an 8-yard gain. As Blaylock got it away, and there's Bridges. And he's, as we say, he's a yard shy of that first down marker. 4th and 1, and the Raiders go for it from the 41-yard line. That's a big play right here. Oh, they're going to try a keeper, and they're not going to make it. Blaylock tried to make it himself, and anytime you see a quarterback sneak and you see the quarterback stood up on the initial contact, you know the play's over. And indeed, Blaylock loses a yard, and Harrison takes over. So it's 1st and 10 for Harrison as they come up with the defensive stop. Boy, that was a big play right there, stopping the Raider drive as they had moved from their own 11-yard line to the Harrison 41, and that's as far as they get. So here's Ryan Brand, number 14, at quarterback for Harrison. That's Moore in motion. They give to Huckleby, and Huckleby to the 45-yard line for 4. Second and 6 from the 45-yard line. Four and a half to go, third quarter on the clock, running here at Buller Field at Harrington Sutter Plaza. Now up under quarterback, that's number 8 for Harrison, and I'm going to have to find out who's wearing number 8 for Harrison. Javon Shaw is the ball carrier, and Shaw, number 8, is going to be marked down at the 49-yard line. So he gets 4. And it's 3rd and 2 with the football on the 49. That's the first touch of the night for Shaw. Back in at quarterback now is Brand. Carter in motion. And it's Moore, the ball carrier, and he'll pick up that first down, dancing through the line into the secondary, down to the 43-yard line. So that's a 9-yard carry by Moore and a first down. That's the 15th first down tonight for the Hawks. They go 1st and 10 from the North Farmington 43. Shaw again takes the shotgun snap and can't find anywhere to run on the right side. Number 57 for North Farmington, Yanni Bills, the first man to get there and make the stop on Javon Shaw. So no gain. And 2nd and 10. Here's an end around give to Austin inside the 30, and he's going to be horse collared down at about the 25-yard line. It was Carter, number 11, Carter on the carry. And they're going to tack 15 on to the end of this run. Watch Carter coming out of the slot position here on this end around, taking the handoff from Brand. He's got blockers in front of him, and he makes the most of it, carrying inside the 30-yard line. And then you'll see when he's brought down, it's a horse collar tackle. That's a personal foul against the Raiders. As it's Ward coming across, and all Ward can grab onto is the shoulder pad. And, well, you can't do that. So they're going to bring the ball all the way down to the 14. So it's Carter on the run. No. It's a first down for Harrison. And they've got it. 1st and 10 at the 14. Right up the middle. I think that's Moore. Nope, Huckleby again, number 19. And Huckleby just a couple of yards down to the 12. 2nd down and 8. As we hit 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the Harrison Hawks looking to maybe put the final nail in the coffin right here. They're up by 23, and they are in the red zone again. 3 in the backfield now for the Hawks. It's a full house look. Huckleby, the tailback. They fake the handoff to him. Brand rolling into the end zone, and Coleman catches it. What a beautiful catch by Garius Coleman. Touchdown, Harrison Hawks. And they go up 35-6. Coleman with his 2nd touchdown reception of the night, and another. They've both been beautiful catches. It comes with 1:37, the touchdown does, with 1:37 to go in the third quarter. It is a 12-yard touchdown pass to Coleman. And hang on just a second. We'll take a look at the replay of the touchdown right now. It's Brand, number 14, and he lays it in there, and Coleman goes up to get it, and he does. Nice rollout action. Nice camera work, by the way. And look at Coleman going up, and now watch his feet. He gets one down, he's in bounds. He gets them both down, just for practice for when he's in the National Football League. And another great catch by Coleman to make it 35-6. And that drive, 57 yards for the Hawks. I'm sorry, 59 yards for the Hawks. In 7 plays. And they go up 36, 36-6 with the point pending.
Moss in to attempt it now, and Coleman, he's the holder. We had a Raider player shaken up, but he's okay. And here's Moss's point after. Nothing to it.
Point after by Zach Moss is good. And you score.
So the Hawks move into a 30-point lead with about a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Minute 37 on the clock, and it is Harrison 36 and North Farmington 6. So whatever chance the Raiders had may have disappeared when they were stopped on fourth down at the Harrison 41-yard line on that 4th and 1. And the Hawks took over and went 59 yards to score the touchdown. Coleman, his second touchdown reception of the ball game. This one from 12 yards out, and it is 36-6. They just on the PA, I don't know if you heard it or not, gave the Muskegon Lowell score. Now, I will tell you, having lived in Grand Rapids for half a dozen years or so when I was doing play-by-play for the International Hockey League team over there, I can tell you Muskegon Lowell is a big game. However, it's Muskegon Lowell, and it's a couple hundred miles away. Well, not too, maybe about 130, 140 miles away anyways. They're playing it at Muskegon, a little less than that if they're in Lowell, of course. And it's a huge game in West Michigan, but here in Farmington, not so mud. We'd rather get an update on the Farmington-Oxford game, frankly. All right, this is another up back taking the kickoff for the Raiders. And Malik Fuller out to the around the 30-ish. We'll call it the 30-ish yard line. They'll spot it at the 29, 1st and 10 there for the Raiders. Now the wind, we feel a little wind, and it has gotten a little chillier up here. His temperatures dropped off markedly since the sun set. Let's see, Thursday it was 88 degrees, and today we got up to about 70. And again, this morning, you'd never imagined we'd have had a clear blue sky at kickoff tonight because it rained for much of the morning, and then it stopped, and almost immediately the clouds blew out of there, and we've got that crystal clear weather, but it's brought with it some cooler temperatures. Here's Bridges. And he'll get out beyond the 30 out to about the 32-yard line. And we get a timeout here. I believe one of the Harrison players shaken up. And is that Coleman? It's Coleman on the tackle, actually. Let's see if we can identify the Hawk. And I think it's just a cramp from the way that they're behaving down there. And indeed, the injured player, number 51, Antonio McKelton, is helped to his feet by Garius Coleman. And he'll make his way to the sideline here directly. Give Bridges a gain of 3 on 1st down. And the football now at the 32-yard line. Oh, don't forget, we're going to have Southfield and Harrison for you on Friday, September 15th. That should be a really good football game. Southfield losing narrowly to the Falcons 14-6 in a game that went right down to the bitter end. And then last week, Southfield bombing the Raiders 44-0. And so they'll come in here to Buller Field next Friday night, 1 week from tonight, one of the powerful teams in the OAA White. We'll look forward to having that one for you here on TV 10 as we take a look at the Raiders fans across the way. Hanging in there, I'll give them that. Hanging in there with their team down now by 30 points and just a minute 15 to go in the third quarter. Hey, we've got such a good schedule for you this year on TV 10. I got it. And not to be boastful. It's not like I made the schedule. I'm just saying. We've got some terrific matchups for you down the stretch here. Right, as we at about the halfway point of the season tonight, again, we've got that great Southfield Blue Jay team coming here to Buller Field next Friday night. We'll see the Hawks against Southfield Lathrop the week after that. And then we get the head-to-head matchups that we crave. On October 5th, North Farmington plays host to Farmington. The following Friday night, October 12th, the Hawks will be on the road to take on the Falcons. And we'll close out our regular season coverage with the OAA crossover game at Falcon Field, Farmington versus to be determined. Those crossover games are actually usually pretty interesting, because what they do is they'll take the team with the corresponding record in one of the other divisions. So if Farmington is, say, in first or second place when that crossover game comes around, in first and second place of the white when that crossover game comes around, they'll be playing the first or second place team in the red or the blue division. So it's going to be a good matchup. So 3rd and 7 off the incomplete pass. And now, I'm not sure what's happened here. I'm sorry, that last pass must have been complete. I've got to pay better attention. The ball out to the 46-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 for Farmington. And now it's Bridges dancing into the secondary inside the 40-yard line. And a good-looking run there for Bridges. About 15 yards on the carry as he goes from his own 46 to the Harrison 38. 16 yards on the carry by Bridges. And watch him get into that second level of the defense quickly. Beautiful running by Chauncey Bridges. Now on that exchange, the ball comes free, but the Raiders fall on it. Now they've gone to the 4th quarter at Falcon Field, and there's about 7 minutes to go, and it is Oxford 13, Farmington 13. On that fumble, the Raiders actually pick up 6, and it's 2nd and 4. Ball's on the 32, and now it's going to be on about the 30, and look out, a little shoving after the whistle. Number 16 for Harrison, Peyton Peterson, and I think that was McCorvey, number 32 for North Farmington, although it may have been Masri, number 23. Ball down to the 30 for a gain of 2.
Looking right in the camera, and I'm like super.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. And after 3, your score, Harrison 36 and North Farmington 6. And the Raiders, their deepest penetration into Harrison territory, with the exception of the Chauncey Bridges 80-yard touchdown run back in the 1st quarter, as they've got it down at the Hawk 30. There's the Harrison band. Great show they put on, by the way, at halftime here tonight. We congratulate them for that. I'm not sure when MCBA, Michigan Competing Band Association, competition begins, but I know it won't be long, and get a chance to go out and see the Harrison Band or the Falcon Band competing in some of these shows around the metropolitan Detroit area throughout the fall, culminating in the state championships at Ford Field. By all means, take advantage and get out there and check them out. The kids work hard, and they put on a great show. So 3rd and 2 here for the Raiders. Again, our next 2 broadcasts will be right here at Buller Field, featuring the Harrison Hawks, and after that, we're going to see the Raiders and the Falcons and the Falcons and the Hawks. And no, that's a loss on this play, on this carry by Bridges. He loses 4 yards back to the 34. Huckabee on the stop. 4th and 6. So the blocking for the Raiders broke down on that play. And now they're in, well, a situation you don't want to be in. 4th down and 6. And Well, they need to convert right here, don't they? They're down by 30 points, and we're in the fourth quarter with 11:15 to go in it. Harrison fans are happy. Those look like students to me. So here we go. Blaylock up under center. 2 wide, split to the near left side. It's Bridges in motion to the right. Bridges looking to, I should say Blaylock looking to find Bridges. He overshoots him. Flag comes in late, but there may have been motion prior to the snap. It may just be a case of a late flag. I don't know. We'll wait and find out here. In any event, I do think the penalty's against the Raiders. It's not. It's pass interference against Harrison. It's going to be a first down for the Raiders. So an inopportune penalty there for the Hawks is going to result in a Raider first down, I think. Let's see how they walk this off. I thought it was just, if it's pass interference, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and the Raiders needed 6 to convert the fourth down play. Yeah, they're going to walk off the 15. So I didn't see the pass interference on our replay, but it did happen, and they marched the ball down to the 19-yard line. First and 10 at the 19. The pitch to Bridges, and he reverses his field, and that's not going to work. There's a flag, though. He may have been face masked. It was Slobin, 55, who got there first, but there may have been a face mask on this tackle. Boy, I'll tell you, they had Bridges buried back there for a loss of 5 or more. Yeah, there's a face. No, they're going to call the face mask on the Raiders. Let's look at the replay here. Penalty is declined. The face mask may be right there on the stiff arm by Bridges, or maybe right there. But I saw Bridges' head sort of snap back, and I thought he'd been the one face mask, but he was the guy that delivered the face mask. Penalty is declined. It's a loss of 6 on the play. And it's 2nd and 16 from the 25. Bridges in motion. And the pass into the right flat. Too tall for Alcorne. 3rd and 16. Clock is stopped with 10:26 to go. And the drum line, though, they never stop. Well, tough to beat Friday night football when you're in high school, isn't it? Get another update for you soon from Falcon Field. Again, Oxford and Farmington, 13-13, midway through the fourth quarter. And they whistle the play dead, and the Raiders will call timeout. The upcoming schedule for North Farmington. Next week they are at Lathrop. The week after that, the 28th, they are at Oak Park. Then the game on October 5th at North Farmington against Farmington. That's one of our TV 10 games. And then the Raiders close it out on the road at Rochester Adams. And then on the 19th, they'll play in the crossover game at home. They were 7-3 last year, the Raiders. They come into play tonight, 1-2, 0-2 in OAA white play. And they are in distinct danger of falling to 0-3 in the OAA white and 1-3 overall, which would mean they would have to run the table to make it into the postseason. But you know what? Lathrop can be beaten. Oak Park's going to be tough. They're undefeated coming into play tonight. It's a rivalry game against Farmington. Who's to say who's going to win that one? Adams is having an off year, and then you got the crossover. So perhaps not all lost for the Raiders, but boy, that Oak Park game's going to be tough. This is Ward on the end around, and that's not going to work this time. Worked earlier, didn't work this time as Coming up on the play to make the stop was Peyton Peterson, number 16. Snuffed it out. He sussed it out and snuffed it out. And it's no gain. And it's 4th and 16. So if there's any ball game left here, it comes down to this play, doesn't it? Raiders are trailing by 30. A long shot for them to win now with under 10 minutes to go. But to have any chance at all, they must convert here. 4th down and 16. Shotgun snap, Blaylock. Throws underneath, intercepted by Peterson. And he comes rumbling back the other way, and he may go all the way. It's Huckabee actually on the pick. Huckabee inside the 30. Huckabee spinning at the 15. Got away from one man. Going to be dragged down at the 5. What a run. What a return by Ed Huckabee. And it's 1st down and goal to go. Or check it. That's actually number 13, Ventura Ingram. Nope. I had it right the second time. It was Huckabee. Number 19 on the pick, and what a great return that was. Was there a penalty flag down there? Oh, yes, there is. I see it out by the 45-yard line now. So it was, in all likelihood, is a post-possession blocking foul on the return, but we'll wait and see. Huckabee, where did he pick off that ball? Somewhere around the 10 or 15-yard line. So he returned it 80-plus yards down to the 5. And everybody takes a knee while they decide where they're going to spot the ball. It will not be at the 5. I believe it'll be Harrison Ball, but the question is where will it be Harrison Ball? So if the penalty flag was thrown at the 40 and it's holding against the Hawks on the return, let's take a look at this replay. You're going to see Blaylock underthrowing a little bit, and Huckabee, number 19, there to take advantage. And boy, what a great return this is. He picks it off right there at about the 17. So he returned it 78 yards to the 5-yard line. But after the penalty, they will spot the ball at the Harrison 45. Here's Huckabee off to the races. I want to keep going with this thing. He's going to make a couple of great moves around the 20-yard line. And just when he thought this play was over, there's Ed Huckabee still on his feet, heading for the goal line, and he very nearly got in. That's the quarterback who threw the pass, Blaylock, number 7, being blocked to the turf by number 55, Slobin. And that may have been your penalty right there, although the flag was thrown back around the 40, so it was not. But there's that move by Huckabee as he eludes not one but 2 Raiders. And finally, it's Chauncey Bridges, number 4, hanging on for dear life and waiting to get some help from Justin Shelton, which he does. And Huckabee, look at him, still battling to make it to the end zone. Finally brought down at the 5-yard line. So 78 yards all told on that return, although, again, it won't count as due to the penalty. The penalty was whistled at the 40-yard line of North Farmington. So they walk off the 15, and the ball is at the Harrison 45-yard line. And it'll be 1st down and 10 to go for the Hawks at their own 45. And just now getting to his feet is one of the Raiders who was in on that tackle, Justin Shelton. And he walks under his own power to the sideline across the way. And I hope I'm glad to see he's on his feet. And I don't want to joke about an injury, but I'm just saying, after that return, it just may be a case of the player being winded heading to the other sideline. Because I'll tell you what, that was something, that return there by Ed Huckabee. So we're happy again to see the North Farmington player, Justin Shelton, walking back to his own sideline, and here come the Hawks with 9:26 to go in the football game, leading by 30, and it's Moore on the carry for 6. Number 50 and number 80 on the stop. 80 is Yaldo, and 50 is Romeo. And they team up on that stop, but it's a 6-yard first down gain for Moore. 2nd down and 4 from the 49. The Raider 49. And that's Shaw in there at quarterback now, number 8. And another power run up the middle results in a big gain for the Hawks. The ball carrier there is Quentin Jackson. That's Quentin Jackson's first carry. And he's all the way down to the 42-yard line. And that's a gain of 7. Or check that, I'm sorry. The ball down to the 37-yard line, so make it a gain of 12 on that carry by Jackson. Now here's Moore. And he's going to be run out of bounds across the way by Ward. As you have the players stiff-arming one another, and it winds up being a play for no gain, stopping the clock. 2nd down and 10 at the 37-yard line. You see some fine stiff-arming here. First by the ball carrier Moore, number 10 for Harrison. And now watch number 2 at the top of your screen, Ward. There's the stiff arm, and there's another one, and they all wind up going out of bounds. Here's Shaw rolling, throwing deep and a little bit too high for his intended receiver. Hakeem Zeeb was the intended receiver down there. Boy, this kid Shaw got some foot speed, and he rolled out quickly. And I think the problem actually on that one was that the receiver Zeeb kind of broke off his pattern a little bit earlier than Shaw thought he would, and the pass wound up too long. So 3rd and 10 from the 37, 8:21 to go, 4th quarter, and Harrison in control, 36-6. Shaw's going to tuck it under and run. Cuts it inside, picks up the first down and more, 20-15, 10, 5. Look at that. Shaw, touchdown, Harrison Hawks. Wow. Javon Shaw has just turned in a brilliant 37-yard touchdown run. So the Hawks go 55 yards in 5 plays, and they've gone up 42-6 with the extra point up and coming. 8:09 to go in the 4th, and we're going to have a running clock again here, as the margin now is 36 points for Harrison. A great run right there by Javon Shaw. Wow, I thought he was going to be stopped in the backfield. The extra point is up and good. So it is 43-6. Now let's watch this run by Javon Shaw. Remember the name. He's number 8 for the Harrison Hawks. He fakes the handoff. And I'll tell you, look at that. He gets some great blocking. That one Hawk right there throws 2 great blocks. Shaw cuts inside the second block, and then there's no stopping him. Look at him split the defenders there at the 15-yard line, and now he's going to outdistance everyone to the end zone. That's a great bit of running right there by Javon Shaw. And I'll tell you what, by the time we're here next week, I'll get you more information about him, because I'm looking on my roster and I do not see Shaw, and I can't give you his height or his weight or his class, but I can tell you he's a terrific young athlete. They have gone to overtime at Falcon Field, still tied at 13, Farmington against Oxford. What a ball game that must be. Both teams 2-0 in the OAA White. The Falcons looking to remain undefeated. They came into play tonight 3-0 overall. Oxford with a record of 2-1. Wow. I'll tell you what, I've been so impressed by that Farmington team so far this season. The Hawks kick it away, and again we'll have a, whoops, that ball's loose down there, and it's still loose, and Harrison's going to pick it up. He can't advance a free kick, or can you? They're signaling touchdown. I think they should mark it at the 5. But it's either a touchdown for the Hawks or first and goal for the Hawks. They're going to say it's a recovered fumble, which you can advance, and that's a touchdown for Harrison. Devon Cook, number 15, I think, is the guy who picked it up and went into the end zone to make it 49-6. Wow. Well, if this extra point is good, Harrison will have put 50 on the board against North Farmington. It's blocked. Oh, you know, I understand coaches, they get a little wrapped up in things and whatnot. Let's take a look at the replay on this touchdown. But one of the Harrison assistant coaches just threw a towel on the field when the extra point was no good. And I'm like, hey, really, what's the point, pal? You're up by 43 points, okay? I know you want everything to go perfectly all the time. Now watch, it's again, it's a situation where that's a free ball on a kickoff. And unfortunately, the Raider player couldn't come up with it. And here you see the Harrison player, and I think that's number 15, or is it number 25? That's the only issue. And he picks it up and stumbles forward. Nice dive. Way to lay out. That is indeed number 15, Devon Cook, and the fumble recovery touchdown. And so the Hawks get touchdowns 15 seconds apart. And they lead it 49-6 now. I just think it's funny, to be honest with you, to see a coach get so. And again, it wasn't Coach Harrington, but it was, and it may not have even been a coach, but somebody on that Harrison sideline was so upset after the extra point was missed. And frankly, in a game where you're leading 49-6, the extra point is not all that important. And you know, just throw a towel on the field like that, I just thought was, well, that's just a bit much. Come on, guys. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to have 50 on the board and yada yada. And you never want to see something go awry on your special teams, but come on. It's 49-6. Look at the board. Here we go. 7:54 to go, fourth quarter, and it is 49-6. They'll kick it short, and it's juggled a bit by Matt Romeo before he gathers it in, and a flag comes in late. Well, I'll tell you something. They had the Raiders beaten 44-0 last week, trailing tonight 49-6. So that's in a span of 8 days. You're outscored 93-6. This was a Raider team last year that was 7-3. And I'll say something here that I probably most people, I don't know, wouldn't see as too popular or maybe agree with. But I'm giving credit to Coach Schultz and to those Raider players. You know, keep your heads up, boys. Yeah, this has been a tough stretch to say the least. Here's that kickoff again. It's going to be juggled a little bit, and the Raiders will actually, after a penalty, will start out near midfield. Let's see if we can see where the penalty comes in. It's a personal foul against the Hawks, so it'll be 1st and 10 Raiders at the 48-yard line. So let's keep the daubers up down there, guys. I know you will. This is all part of the learning curve, isn't it? Sometimes this is what high school is all about, not just winning a ball game by scoring 50 points, but sometimes by losing a football game by 50 points. This is a good-looking run for the Raiders. That's Malik Fuller on the carry, and he'll pick up a dozen or so and pick up a first down for the Raiders. So we're in a running clock situation now with the score differential pegged at 43. And we'll take another look at the run by Fuller. Brought down across the way by Marcus Ferguson. Bouncing off a tackle again. This is Fuller. Flag comes flying in. As Fuller's dropped after a gain of only a yard. Ferguson again with the stop for the Hawks as we wait to see what the penalty call will be on this first down play. On what was a first down play. Holding against North Farmington. So first and 10 is going to be first and 20. We talked about Harrison opening the season with 3 straight on the road as we look at the carry by Fuller. Tonight's game opens a stretch of 3 in a row on the road for North Farmington. A week from tonight on the 21st at Southfield Lathrop. I think they start their games at 4 o'clock in the afternoon at Southfield Lathrop. And then the following week, they'll be at Oak Park. That's Friday the 28th. Before they come home to finish the season playing 2 of 3 at Holland Field. Again, Harrison tonight, the first of 3 in a row at home, and we're going to have all 3 of them for you here on TV 10. Blaylock completes to Fuller, and Fuller gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. After the penalty, it was first and 25, and now it's going to be second and 25. So the clock running here as we approach 6 minutes to go, and you see that pass play garnering nothing for the Raiders. And now they're going to lose yards on the on the second and 25 play. Again, Fuller the ball carrier, and he's dropped for a 1-yard loss, and it's 3rd down and 26. So John Harrington will have tonight his 390th career victory, and this his 43rd season as coach of the Harrison Hawks. The only coach in school history. Here's the 3rd and 20-plus carry, and a good carry it is. A nice shoestring tackle by Karabu Luguago to stop Harold Stallion. Stallion had a good, solid game there of some 14 yards, 15 yards. That's going to be 4th down and 9 to go.
Update from Shiawassee Road. Farmington with the ball first, scores a touchdown, goes for 2, denied. Oxford football.
Oh, we're getting an update. We just did get an update from Falcon Field. The Falcons have scored a touchdown in the first overtime. Their 2-point conversion has failed, and Oxford has the ball now. They should get it at the 10-yard line, as you know, in the overtime in high school football, and the Raiders kick it away. And so a converted touchdown will win the game for Oxford. A non-converted touchdown will send it to double overtime. Anything else, and the Falcons will have won. So a nail biter there. Here we've got a running clock with 3:50 to go in the 4th quarter, and Harrison on top, 49-6. Yeah, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, geez, you know," they look at these scores, 44-0, 49-6, and they say, "Oh, geez, North Farmington, that must be awful," and it's just, you know, it's terrible and whatnot. You know, I just can't do that. This is high school football. Yeah, you want to win. You know, but part of it is, it is. It's about learning the game of football. It's about learning how to play as a team. And yeah, I don't care if I sound like a rah-rah guy. That's what this is all about. So I'll tell you what, if I were a Harrison player shaking hands with a Raider after this football game, as they will do at midfield when the game's over, my handshake would be heartfelt. So just hang in there, Raiders. Just drives me nuts sometimes when I hear people talking about high school football, and it seems to me the Falcons have won. Oxford did not score in the overtime. And the Falcons go to 4-0, 3-0 in the OAA White. What a huge win for the Falcons tonight. They beat Oxford in overtime, 19-13. And look out, we may get more points on the board here for Harrison, and we will. Look at him go. That's Quentin Jackson, number 25, and Jackson goes 58 to the house. Wow. Quentin Jackson with another touchdown jaunt, but there's flags on the play. So this may come back. What a nice run by Quentin Jackson. He's a junior, 5'8", 155. But the penalty is again, no, it's a personal foul after the play, and so it's going to be a touchdown for Harrison. I believe that, I thought they pointed at Harrison as being guilty of the penalty. But in this case, the touchdown still counts. 58-yard run by Jackson. And they will tack the penalty onto the kickoff. So 3:18 to go here. And now Harrison's got their 50 points. It's 55-6 with the point pending. And now I suppose if they miss the extra point, the assistant coach down there will be upset because they didn't win by 50. But that was the point I was making. That's what high school football is all about. What we just saw, that run by Jackson. You know, yeah, it's nice if you win. It's great to win. But we're not at the level yet where it's the only thing. So Mass to attempt the extra point. A new holder in there, and that's Shaw. And it all works as the conversion, or convert as they call it in Canadian football, is good. And now we'll watch Jackson, number 25, Quentin Jackson, go 58 for a score. Pretty basic off-tackle play. And there's the move right there. And again, this is really a hallmark, I think, the Harrison teams. My 7th year calling these games. And what you expect to see from Harrison is sound fundamental football, and that means, in this case, good downfield blocking. You see it repeatedly with the Hawks. You see it on this play here, and you see, as a result, Quentin Jackson cruising into the end zone to make it a 50-point lead for Harrison. That's just outstanding execution, and it's a case of having a fine young athlete carrying the football, a kid with some speed. So 3:14 left to go. It's a 50-point game, and now they restart the clock. Harrison penalized back to the 25-yard line. The penalty occurred after the touchdown had been scored. That's why the touchdown was not negated. Wait, this may be the most points that I've ever called in a TV 10 broadcast. And it may also be the largest margin of victory. All right, here's the return by Ward. And he'll make it out to the 45-yard line or thereabouts. Raiders ran into a buzzsaw tonight. You knew Harrison was going to be all fired up after blowing that lead and losing at Oxford last week. You knew they were going to be tough. And the Raiders have just been overmatched a bit in this one. But again, this is a team that was 7-3 last year. And even as they tonight fall to 1-3 on the season, again, you look at that remaining schedule of theirs, and yeah, it's going to be tough to beat Oak Park, and it's going to be tough to beat Farmington. But if they can get on a little bit of a run, which they did last year, maybe there's an outside shot at making it to the postseason. But Farmington winning tonight against Oxford, 19-13 in overtime. What a game that must have been. New quarterback is number 9, Bobby Williams. And the first down carry garners a yard or so for the Raiders. With that clock running, we're down to a minute 20, and we're not going to see too many more snaps here tonight at Buller Field. So Harrison will go to 3-1. And they will get ready for the Southfield Blue Jays 1 week from tonight. That's our next broadcast here on TV 10. What a game that is going to be. I'm telling you, we've seen Southfield. They're a good team. Trying to bounce it outside is Darius Smith, and he gets pounded, and the ball comes free, and we'll see who winds up with possession. Clock continues to run, 50 seconds to go, and they're going to say the ball carrier was down. It is still Raider foot. Nope, they're going to give it to the Hawks. Another turnover by the Raiders. I shouldn't say another turnover by the Raiders. A turnover by the Raiders. It's one thing they really haven't done tonight. They've had the interception and now the fumble, but nothing like the 9 fumbles, 4 of which the Raiders lost a week ago. They've actually controlled the football. They just haven't been able to stop that Harrison offense here tonight. So we will not see another snap in this football game with the running clock. We're down under 20 seconds to go, and Harrison's going to walk off with a 50-point victory here tonight. And now Harrison will get ready for the Southfield Blue Jays, and that's our next broadcast for you. Friday, September 21st, right here from Buller Field, and the Raiders will head out onto the road to take on Southfield Lathrop 1 week from tonight. So it's been a big night of high school football here in the Farmington School District, with the Farmington Falcons beating Oxford in overtime 19-13, and with Harrison having a huge offensive night here tonight against the North Farmington Raiders. There's your final score. The Harrison Hawks 56, the North Farmington Raiders 6. For our TV10 crew, I'm Rich Kincaid. We'll see you right back here at Buller Field next Friday night. Good night, everybody.